Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. We're not looking at a game today. Well, we're actually looking at a few games. This is the Curious Case TG's Dusty Shelf. Now for those who don't know, TG is 4chan's traditional games board, a board dedicated to all the wonderful world of, well, traditional games, which there are a lot of. Ignore the risk. Ignore the Wonder Bread. A lot of 40k. Ignore the Pepes. There's a lot of Pepes these days. It's about, theoretically, traditional games and all the wonderful things that go along with it. And throughout its years, the board has created its fair share of its own kind of games, most of which have been cataloged on 1d4chan.org. Well, I say most, but many don't make it that far. This isn't the first Dusty Shelf we've done. The absolute first one we did was on the, quote, successful games. The ones everyone kind of knows about. This one is far from it. These are the games that seemingly people forget about. And there are quite a few. For every game that people like to talk about, there's a dozen more that don't really get more than a passing glance. And overall, we're going to be looking at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to be looking at about 9 different games today, just to give you the idea of what we're going to be doing today. However, I want to introduce you all to one of the first games we're going to be looking at, otherwise known as Wetsuit. Now, Wetsuit is a game based off of the, I think, 80s television show. The 90s television show, where in 2018, the world flooded. Seems quaint these days, doesn't it? This game is 12 pages long, not counting the covers. And this. So overall, the game is more about 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 4 pages of actual rules. So I want to temper your expectations a little bit. No, actually, Eric, this is not. Wetsuit was actually a show. It was technically a television show back in the way back. Let me see. Wetsuit TV show. Where was it? I could have swore it was a... Huh. Oh. Yeah, welcome to, Wetsuit. Very 90s, very odd. So if we actually look here, let me see. Logo, 5-face media. Oh, geez, there's a lot of TMs. I'm curious. 5-face media Ltd. Is this actually... Huh. It may not be real. Oh, hello there. It may not be real. I have literally no idea. That's the weird thing, because they have all of these images, like they have all of these things that like it look real. I don't actually, looking at this deeper, I don't think it is real. Just incredibly accurate looking. Yeah, but you have shit like this. Like this looks like from a television show. I don't know what television show, but it looks like it. But there's a lot of games we're going to be looking at today. Not exclusively just Wetsuit. But I want to get across one very simple idea. 1d4chan and its ilk are temporary. It's odd. Think of it, isn't that? And I was reminded of this actually the other day. Me and my friends, we were going through old pictures, and we were like, "Oh, this is from 2018," and we're like, "What? That was 3 years ago." Or, "Wow, this was from when I was a kid," and then you realize that was over a decade and a half ago. Some of these games are over almost a decade old at this point, and they haven't seen any work since. And it has been confirmed that Root here, kind of the quote owner of 1D4chan, has gone AWOL. No one knows where he is. No one can contact him. He is effectively off grid. He could be out there. He could not be. No one really knows. But earlier this year, not this year, but earlier this year, 1D4chan actually went offline. It was only for about only about a week and a half or so. But it got me thinking, and hence why I did the first Dusty Shelf. When 1D4chan goes away, what happens? What happens to all these work? And this is why I'm doing this stream, and in turn, a bunch of other, the littler streams. I just want to document things, because the 1D4chan quote editing team Discord has launched Operation Sticky Fingers, which is going to be them pretty much making a mirror of the entirety of the site, which was already done by another person called Faz, Elfaz actually, who did 1d4chan.net, which he still owns, I think. It was paid for a full year. It's very confusing, and that's kind of like the odd... There's something going on with 1d4chan that I don't quite understand, but there's going to be one day where these games are lost, and we're going to go through a few, and you're going to understand that we've lost a few. That there are ones that are just gone. We'll never find them again. And that's sad in a way. Well, outside of Wetsuit, we're going to be looking at Dive into the Sky, Hail and Kill. Yeah, welcome to Hail and Kill. This is going to be fun going through. We're going to be looking at Joints and Jivers, I mean, and Modempunk. I'm going to be looking at you, Mr. Viral Games. Lost Source. Lost Source is an interesting idea, but we're going to be going through Lost Source. Very pretty, anyway. Oh yeah, big blaxploitation vibes, baby. We're going to be looking at Small Towns, which is actually one of my favorite games, because I know this. STALKAN. One of the Stalker RPGs. I thought this was appropriate because of what's been, because Stalker 2's announcement. I thought it would be appropriate to go through STALKAN a little bit. And finally, our big one we're going to be going through is Velocity. Probably one of the best put together games. And this was the most recent copy I could find. There might be a more updated copy. I don't know. I'm part of their Discord, so if anything goes there. Yes, gotta go fast. So, we will start with Wetsuit. Wetsuit is a simple game. Congratulations. Here's the game. It is only 12 pages long. It is double-sided, but it is not what we would like to call, like, extensive. The entire thing is, in 2018, the world flooded because of rising sea levels. That's it. Congratulations. We have successfully told you about what the Wetsuit lore is like. Let's see. Wetsuit, the role-playing game, uses a trait-based system for conflict resolution. Character 4 trait based on their backgrounds include also 3 bio-readout ratings. Wetsuit, glasses, and haircut determines the difficulty when you have to overcome. Use your wetsuit, glass, or haircut rating. Add applicable traits. That's really it. It's very simple. That's literally what the game is. I would like to believe that there are something that's a lot more detailed and a lot more. Let me see. Receive one background tip for each of the following: Memento, contact, secret, incident. Congratulations, we've learned how to play the game. It's what you have to do. You roll some dice. Let me see. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no. This is diceless. Even this is a diceless fucking game. I misread something. Yeah, no. You just add everything up, and that's what you have to do to succeed. Congratulations. I've taught you how to play Wetsuit. Yeah, they lost the Amazon, so they took the rest. 100 million souls perched on a mountain range. Rednecks and survivalists are free of law and order. Let me see. The busiest island in the Atlantic, the Pan-African Federation, the new breadbasket of the dry world, United Oceania. Australia's just fucking gone. The fucking Australians finally got what they deserved. Japan's gone, by the way. Anything you want. And looks like okay. Also, fun fact: the UK got yeeted. So congratulations, everyone. We did it. I don't think quite C Lab 2021. I don't think it's quite that. I think it's more about like that Baywatch era, like ridiculousness, being like one of your stats is literally called fucking haircut. Like, I think the goal of this game is kind of emulate those 90s television shows where it's just like everyone's like dramatically running toward the camera and everyone's like, huh, don't worry, everyone. Brought to you in part by, Coca-Cola. Wink. The 90s were a trip, man. But this is the game, really. Interesting ideas. And I actually found this game because I was looking for story games. And this is story game. Yeah, this is literally it. Commerce is barter to good, precious metals. I pledge to strive to the fullest capacity to carry out the charter mission of the beacon, deliver aid and abetment, wherever suffering can be alleviated, to embrace the cause of science and progress, even the trying times, oppose all of those who work against the cause of human freedom. Yeah! Yeah! 3 collectible cards with game statistics for the cast of Wetsuit. Again, I gotta give Viral Games this. They did commit to the theme. And give me 1 second. I want to look up something. I want to Viral Games. This is going to be really helpful. Yes, Viral Games. Flappy Bird. Among Us. Fall Guys. Okay, let's tabletop RPG. Engine Hearts. Okay, this is the guy who did Engine Hearts. Give me your sight, my friends. Or at least published. Also, you can technically get Engine Heart for free, which you totally should, because Engine Heart's a fan-fucking-tastic game. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, one day I might have to just go through drive-through RPG and find all these really weird ones. My friend, do you have a website? Yeah, this isn't going to be the first time we're going to run into Viral, by the way. Like, Viral Games, No, I don't think he actually does. Actually, wait. No. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I give the man credit. Like, when I first read this, I'm like, literally was thinking, like, oh, it's It's like based off some like 90s television show no one remembers. I'm like, all right, this makes complete sense because they had the look. Like all of these look like actors that we totally know that we totally don't remember because it was the 90s and nobody remembers the 90s. But all right, yeah, that's Wetsuit. Now, one of the reasons I actually decided to take on the role of doing games like Wetsuit, outside of me having to look at them, the other reason was games like Wetsuit are the ones that get forgotten first. Because if you actually go to their 1D4chan page, which again is the only place you can actually find this game. This is Wetsuit is only really hosted on 1D4chan. And you can even see it's chugging right now. This isn't my internet, mind you. 1D4chan just chugs these days. Yep, based on the 1993 television show of the same name. The game book was recently posted. Let's see. So, the page was last edited on October 2018. I'm going to feel really sad. Let's go to the history. Wetsuit, 2012. Oh no. Oh no. So yep. 2012 is when this game came out. This game is 9 years old. Actually, it would be, yeah, 9. It's 9 years old. Hasn't seen any changes. It is gone. And when it is gone, it will be gone. And it's odd to think about. You know, we all like to celebrate our games, but even things like 1D4chan are transitory. One day we'll be there. Next day, Wetsuit will be lost to history. A mistake or a problem of the future. But we also have Dive Into the Sky. Dive Into the Sky is a part of a very unique genre, a subgenre. Give me a very unique subgenre of Japanime called Musume. Now, if you may notice that last word, do you have all the games that were lost in 1D4? No. No, Eric, I don't. There are some games that are just gone. During the last time it shut down, I actually made a dedicated effort to go through the Wayback Machine and recover everything I could. And I took a list of what's actually still available, what's not. And if here's the terrifying thing. If say tomorrow 1D4chan were to go down, about a third of the games on here would be gone. They would just evaporate. They would no longer exist. Because this is the only place where they're hosted. Some are in Google Docs, but we'll get to, when we're going over Dive Into the Sky a little bit, you'll understand what happened to a few of them. But Dive Into the Sky, as I was getting to, is part of the Mecha Musume genre. Now, some of you may know what that last word means, Musume, which is girl, effectively. So yes, this is a genre of Japanime, which is mecha girls. This is Dive Into the Sky, based entirely around the game of the franchise known as Strike Witches. Strike Witches, is completely fucking insane. I'll just hold this here. Strike Witches makes no goddamn sense. The entire pitch of this series is everyone is they're all based off ace fighter pilots, but they're also tiny Japanese girls who strap propellers to their legs, use anti-fucking aircraft guns or whatever else they can find, and wear Japanese schoolgirl swimsuits, all while fighting. Does it make any sense? Absolutely not. Does it need to make any sense? Absolutely not. We live in Clown Town. Honk honk, everybody. Yeah, like this shit is like I watched some bits of it. I'm like, I need to get into Strike Witches a little bit more. This shit is insane. I do not get this series, and this isn't even a young series. Like, this is like a pretty older franchise, relatively speaking. But Dive Into the Sky was a game based around that. Based, well, yeah. Let me zoom in here. Dive Into the Sky, aka Lesbo Jet Fighters, is a homebrew RPG based off the Ace Combat series of games and Mecha Musume genre, specifically Strike Witches. Rules light system designed mainly for handling dogfights, which rewards player for character interaction during downtime. Now, the game's older version is it uses a dice pool mechanic. Character's health is measured by stamina and hits, ace points, and pulling off impressive feats. This game is gone. The old version is gone. Now, if we go down here, oh, let's do the old system PDF, 404 not found. Oh, let's do the older version, 404 not found. Those games are gone. This entire section here is away and will never come back. I don't know where it is. Let me see. Dive into this. Dive into the Sky. And now, to give you the age of some of these, this is one of the lead developers, a person named Thoon. They have not been active since July 8th of 2011. Or let's see, to the development blog, the official development blog. Oh, wow, look. April 24th, 2012. This game is almost a decade old. It is a decade old in some cases. And it's gone. It is away. We'll never see it again. But yeah, these are just to give you the idea of like how old these games are. This is fucking Blogspot. Like this is like what? People are like, okay, let's do the current Dive Into the Sky PDF. Is this the playtest that I have? Yeah, it is. Okay. But that's it. That's really all we have. Looking at this, we also have a play-by chat. Nothing's there. Centralized case of test characters. Let me see if it opens. But oh yes. Oh yeah, all of these. None of these actually apply to the current system. No, all of these. None of them. Yep. Goodbye. We don't need you anymore. What the game actually is in its current state is, if we scroll down a little bit, introduction. Oh wow, look, it's DITS playtest document. If you want to, yeah, you can visit their IRC at Project DITS on the Ryzen network if you want. Go to the IRC. It is, unfortunately, as with many things, based entirely around Dark Heresy. It's the 100 system. That is what you have to roll now. That's ta-da. Generate attributes for a character. Roll D20 for each attribute. Arrange results any way you like. Yeah, this was during an era where and we'll see this with a few of the other games. Like the other game we'll be going over, the major one, Lost Source. It is a Dark Heresy hack. Now, it has been kind of taken away. It's not a dice pool system anymore. It's a Dark Heresy hack. And these skills particularly good at, they start with value equal to the base attribute used in the skill. Yeah, like it's... They tried to differentiate things, but it's not great. Then we have our ace character, ace points, which are fate points. They are fate points by playing to your archetype, which are right here. This is it. This is the entire archetype section. A fairly major point in the game is about a page and it is actually half a page. Other aspects, luck rolls, HP, movement. This is all great. It's literally a 1D100 with a little bit of Call of Cthulhu in there. That is what the game is. I'm curious to see what would happen with this game if it continued development, but it's not. It's dead. It is a corpse, like with so many other games. But let's see, like margins of successes, critical. If you've ever played Dark Heresy or ever played any hack of Dark Heresy before, or any of the Fantasy Flight Games D100 systems, you've already played this game. It's just a clunkier version of it, crowdsourced written by about a dozen people. But it's like, oh, here's your combat air ability. Here's your ability to deceive people, your medicine skill, your mechanics skill. And then we have all our combat skills. That's great and all. But, yeah, you're noticing an issue here. We haven't even gotten to how to fly a fucking plane yet. Even though we're all plane girls. Or plane boys, because they never really... that doesn't sound right. Plane boys? You know what? We're going on a magical adventure. Mecha Musume boys? Question mark? What would be the... I'm going to regret clicking this. Okay, I mean, there's one. He's a boy. That's... I know that series. I watched it all, and it was funny. Because I lost my fucking mind. What would if Musume is a girl, it would be Mecha... Yeah, I have no idea what it would be. Wow, there's a lot. Oh, wow. Okay, no, we're going on a magic quest, and I don't want to go down there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. The bloody hell? Weird. Let me click literally every single button that I'm not supposed to. But movement phase, moves in order of initiative, with the exception of tailing characters who move a character they are tailing regardless of their initiative. You have a minimum speed equal to your agility bonus. Characters who aren't hovering may move a distance equal to their current speed. This is the issue, is that you have to treat these guys like vehicles in this system, and vehicles were never a big priority in the FFG systems. So a lot of these are hacked together, or like you have a fairly important part of tailing another individual being kind of like a half side rule. It's just like, oh, no, no, no. But it's also like an essential rule. It's very odd. But I think that is a... I believe that is a holdover from a previous version. From the previous version, I should say. Where it was a dice pool system. Yeah, pressing buttons is bad when you don't want to press the buttons. Damage and injury. I actually kind of like this system. It's nice. You know, it's pretty much when you hit 0, you're not dead. The problem is when you're at 0, you are vulnerable to being dead. And once you hit 0, you get attacked again, you will go down unless you take an injury. And injuries are kind of cool. You know, it's just like, oh, hey, your weapon's been hit. Make sure your weapon skill check currently using 20, you know, that, or engine damage. Embarrassing armor purge. Or engine fire, munition explosion. Or, let me see. Where was the crippling loss of one of your limbs? Like, it does escalate a little bit as it goes from like, oh no, like, your armor's been ripped off to, hey, half your body parts have been completely removed from your body. You should panic now. I'm like, oh no. There's fatigue, stunned. This is the 0 HP or the pinch status. They can no longer take actions beyond movement. Defensive actions, if they are damaged again, they're either injured or shot down. I like that. Hey, you get shot down. Doesn't also mean you're dead. This is one thing I actually enjoy about this game quite a bit, and I took a little inspiration from a few other games. It's dying is not necessarily like immediately you are dead. It might mean that you get back on your own. I may have a land near one another, possibly without rolling on the chart. If all PCs are shot down, we'll use only one roll result. Yeah, pretty much if you die, you're not out of the game. Like, you're still functional, quote unquote. Yeah, you get things like, oh, hey, you know, and congratulations, you roll a 4. You end up in enemy territory in a mass grave or an R&D laboratory or, you know, like a junkyard, or you end up with, like, there's a bunch of things that you can kind of crash into, which I think is interesting. You do end up with... Why? Who knows? I don't know why this is here. I think this was made for silly things, and it's even called these silly. Being a silly. Maneuvers are kind of like sub-actions. They are actions you can commit if you have them. But everyone kind of already has them. It's like things like aiming. Slow down carefully at your next shot. 10 plus to your next attack, 10 plus to attack you. Alright, simple enough. Then you get things like loop. You fly in a full loop before returning to the initial course, hoping to catch your tail off guard. Make a cam check. If you succeed, you move up to half your speed forward. If your tail did not match this maneuver, then you are no longer tailed and instead tailing them. Alright, cool. This is where you get things that are completely bizarre, when it's like you're trying to commit to the strike witches thing where people have magic and are blasting each other using super magic and katanas and shit. And also, we want to make this ace combat. Hence why one of the moves is called Danmaku. Why is Danmaku in this game? We will never know, but I cannot escape toot, regardless of what I do in my life. Just saturate the immediate area of current firepower, make an attack check with 10 plus bonus. Each degree of success, you score a single hit. Within target range, you cannot hit any given target more than once. This attack cannot be made with heavy weapons. Expends an amount equal to half your weapon's full magazine. Danmaku is in this game. I don't know why, though. Or you end up with things like the barrier burst. Use your shield as an offensive weapon, pushing anything nearby. The Atano Circus, hail a missile fire, because you can have missiles in this game. And then we get all the pieces of equipment. Carry 2 weapons, 4 other pieces of equipment. Hopefully you like melee weapons. Melee weapons, strangely, there's only 3 melee weapons, which I thought was really strange. You have knife, sword, or any other large weapon, and unarmed. That's it. Congratulations, jazz hands, everyone. We've successfully have our entire melee system set up. Now, ranged weapons are where things get a little bit more detailed because they have things such as pistols, assault guns, grenade launcher, rocket launcher, sniper rifle, shotguns. Because you gotta have these things because you are giant flying girls with propellers for legs fighting other girls with propellers for legs. Do not question it. The more you question it, the worse things get. Because there's bombs. Of course there's bombs. Why wouldn't there be bombs? Here's missiles, because we need missiles. This is one thing that I don't... Useless third weapons when on the ground. You are flying like 95% of this game. Why the fuck do you want to, like, even bring out the idea of, like, yeah, here are grenades if you get your ass on the ground? Nah, no one cares. No one. Let me see. Yeah, bulletproof vests and melee vests. I have no idea why this is the case. I think this was very much. This game is a crowdsourced game in a few ways. You can kind of argue because, as with many TG games happen, you get a bunch of people contributing to it, and then when people contribute to it, there are ideas that stick and be like, we need to have this. We need to have the differences between the bulletproof vest and the melee vest. Do you really need to have that? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Unless it is, like, vital to the success of the game, you don't really need things like that. Mostly because light combat armor does it for both, and heavy armor does it for both. But there's also special rules for light combat armor. Why? Why? Like, that's one of those very odd things. It's like, hmm? Yeah, all-around defense, though it is heavy and thus cumbersome, as all games must have this. Not a professional product, this is, but that's kind of on purpose. It's also 0.5. And yeah, they're just like, hey, there's no magic. But there is magic. Comes simply explain the character's general ability. How does she fly? Magic. How does the character survive the sort of punishment she does? Magic. Magic is magic. Here's how to make giant flying bosses for your Ace Combat Belkin needs, because Belkin clay. So what are my thoughts on Dive Into the Sky? I like Dive Into the Sky. It's a pleasant game. It's a unique product more than anything. This is actually these are the bonus things. We want to add more to the game that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, welcome to. This is for the old version. All of these are. And they make literally no sense anymore. They're gone. And that's the sad part. But yeah, the military drama, simple rule. None of that exists anymore. Dive Into the Sky, we have a Dark Heresy hack. This is what the game is now. And that is a game that we have to kind of pin in there and say, this is what it is. Anything else is wrong. That kind of sucks. But let's move on to Hail and Kill. Now, Hail and Kill is a game, all right. And I say this is a game for a variety of reasons. Also, I'm drinking coffee in case you hear that sound, which you probably do. Come on, give me Hail and Kill, baby. Come on. I believe in you so much, 1D4chan. Yeah, the Nana in the box icon. You understand. This is Hail and Kill. A setting based on metal music made by TG in 2011. Yeah, it's almost a decade old. This is a game Morkborg wants to be. Heavy mithril setting. Heavy metal inspired fantasy setting. Faction inspired by many genres and subgenres of metal, such as thrash and power metal. Songs of metal fell silent. Threads died. Let me see. Yeah, so came 2015 Threads, in which we're developing a crunch largely based off FFG's 40k RPGs. Because it's always the 40k RPGs. The update, fuck, it's dead again. This is the entire, like, setting. Just to give you how detailed this fucking setting is. There's literally everything. Let's just go to the Reaper, the Bloodthirster. Yeah, or there's artwork. There's actually a good chunk of art. There's artwork. There is, or how like everything is like supposed to look like album covers. I'm like, that's cool. Like this is a really cool and like thematic game that just didn't go anywhere because it was being crowdsourced by 4chan. Yeah, Google Docs with the crunch. We'll compile a proper PDF when we're done. Yeah, it's literally, Metal Planet, heavy metal. That was what it was inspired by. Unfortunately, this is all this cool shit up here. Oh, wow. Look at all this lore. Look at all this cool shit up here and all the artwork. Nah. Sorry. You get this. This is like the main document that that Hail and Kill is. Let, yeah, oh, wait a second. Give me 1 second. I have to, cop. I have to copy the Google Docs doc location real fast. Because this is, mind you, the game is spread across about like 17 different Google Docs for some fucking reason. Who knows? But here is. Let me see what goes. Here are your stats: brutality, agility, toughness, brains, will, and you can even see they're green texting. This was written by someone in a 4chan post to tell us about delete when name is chosen, the dex clone, brains, int plus wisdom. Yeah, this is literally just copy pasted from this. Yeah, all the different threads, all of the artwork. Let me see. So, but here is what the game is as of right now, and what it will always kind of be in the eyes of the world. Do I? Oh, that. Fun fact, that isn't actually devil horns. Uh, that is. Oh god, someone pinged me. That is the Carlist flag of Spain, because Carlists. I can go over Carlist Spain hilariously because I had to do a little bit of research on them for memes. They're hilarious. They are like my favorite political ideology because it can roughly be summarized as radical anarcho-monarchism. Because by the end, they're like, the king isn't like the guy we're fighting for isn't legally the king in any interpretation of the law. He is not king. But fuck it. That's our legal standpoint. Fuck it. We don't care anymore. We've been fighting so long. That's actually where I got the beret, and like you see over here the beret I have on. That beret is a Carlist beret. Yeah, no, the Carlist Wars are hilarious, and the only reason I really learned about them is because every Paradox game, I always like playing Spain. Spain is my favorite nation to play in any Paradox game. And in every single Paradox game, except like Crusader Kings, the fucking Carlists will show up. They will show up and they will try to kill you. So I'm like, who are these guys? And I'm like, yep, I learned about them. People say video games don't teach you anything. I learned about bizarre political ideologies. But welcome to the game. You take your attribute, your skill modifier for the situation, add them together with D100 roll. If it's more than 100, you succeed by a number of degrees success equal to every 10 more than 100 you achieve to a maximum of 5 degrees. Gameplay at the time of Red. It is a D100 system that is partially Dark Heresy, partially not. Why? Who knows? Does this game work? No idea. Probably not. Yeah, there's also like this entire section on combat because, again, we need combat. Like, combat is the most essential part of any game. So we're going to have this huge, detailed fucking section on combat, even when the rest of the game has no meat to it. This is one thing with people in games that I do not understand. Like, you have to give meat to everything that has purpose. Song of Swords can get away with having fuck all rules for everything else except sword combat, except it's fighting, because that fighting is literally the point of the game. This is not the point of the game. Like, it Swords is a great setting, and honestly, I'm surprised more people haven't done it. But like, here's the sample. Like, oh, knowledge of the white god, all the logs, or it's like, it's a very interesting setting. It's a very interesting game, and I would be curious to see what would happen to Hail and Kill given infinite time and infinite, effort. Let me see if I can. Yeah, here are all our attributes. Let's go to homelands and equipment. Here are the homelands. You can tell these are really hard to read because guess what? They're all fucking green texts. Ha ha ha, look, it's green text. We all love green text. It's like, oh, here's all our specials depending on where we're from, and that's it. That's our homelands. Ha ha ha. All our equipment, our extensive amount of equipment, and combat's here again. Here, don't worry, here are the monster creation guidelines. Cool animals and traits. Spiders. Similiodon fangs. Dragon wings. Land sharks. Screaming. Just the word screaming is an animal trait. Just screaming. Nothing else. Mutant children. Zombies. Ghost skeletons. All that good stuff. Enemies of the regions. Wastelands. Bandits. Machine demons. Drone bog. Lovecraftian nature spirits. Dire bears. Traditional D&D monsters. Plus Chromeborn. What the fuck is a Chromeborn? We don't know. We'll never know. But what is Hail and Kill? What is this game actually? What this game is this. This is what the game actually is. It is all of this setting. It is all of this lore, all of this relatively interesting pieces that people put together in its own world. It's not, as they kind of say, it's not heavy mithril. It's its own kind of thing. It's a fantasy setting based on metal, not metal fantasy. It has some interesting ideas. It has some parts that are cool. The problem is, it is a decade fucking old. Actually, no. Okay, on the main page, it is not mentioned. Okay, let's go here. We will go to Homelands Equipment. Okay, no, Chromeborn don't exist there. Okay, the Chromeborn. Okay, no, the Chromeborn exist here, saying that they are in fact the Chromeborn. Let's check the main document. No, they don't exist anywhere else. Fun fact, they don't exist anywhere else. But I can tell you who the Chromeborn do exist for. The beautiful thing is the Chromeborn exists for the guy who said he wanted to put Chromeborn in. Does anyone else in this beautiful world of ours know what the fuck the Chromeborn are? Absolutely not. But they aren't supposed to know what they are. What they're supposed to know is that they are a thing that you can add into this. Because that's what Hail and Kill is. Hail and Kill is a setting for people to enjoy. It is almost like Catastrophe in a way. Almost, it's diametric opposite tonally. But Catastrophe is a game that is not a game. It is a setting. It is this big, wide world of possibilities that people want to add more onto. Being like, oh, well, you know, it's this. And oh, it's based on this kind of metal. It's black metal. It's white metal. It's fucking Viking death metal. It's all those crazy things that we want. But, to a degree, for Troika feeling. But when you get to the mechanical part, when you get to the actual, like, all right, everyone, how do we roll dice? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. And for good reason. It sucks. This is coming from someone who does it as a hobby for fun. It sucks. It is not fun. It is not entertaining. It is not like a thing that people are like, oh boy, time to determine probabilities. Nobody is enjoying it. And that's why I kind of hold these games up to an odd, you know, a lax standard compared to other games. I've ripped into games that are worse than this. That are better, way better than, I've ripped into games. But I give these ones a pass because these aren't by people getting paid money. These are by people, not even a person really, it's by a crowd of people shouting at each other and having one guy type everything out. Look how this makes sense. Oh, this is it. Is there a version of Hail and Kill out there, setting-wise? Yeah, I think there is. Is it called Hail and Kill? Absolutely not. It's like Halo Mythic. Halo Mythic started on TG. However, the guys decided to take it and take their ball and leave and distance themselves from it for good reason. Like, for good reason. 4chan is not a great thing to kind of associate yourself with. I'm not going to lie. I do it out of loyalty. I love TG. You know, they're all shit posters and fuck ups, but I love you. And I got my start on there. And I would not be where I am right now without them. But that's not here or there. Well, let's get to velocity we'll get to, I swear. Joints and Jivers. Are you ready to be a jive turkey? Mostly because if you look, viral games. Now, one of the things about Joints and Jivers that was interesting is, we'll go put it right there, and Joints and Jivers. Where are you? Yeah, it's actually on RPG Geek. Like, this is one of those games that are actually kind of interesting because it kind of made its way outside of the initial circles. It's official in some odd way. It's a game that had made its way to this even, which is far, far more than a lot. Many games don't even get this. Many games don't even get close to this. But here we are. Now, originally, let me see, Engine Heart. Viral Games Publishing, actually. Hello. Finally found you a website. Please tell me that the website isn't dead. Please tell me the website isn't dead. Okay, let's go. It's unsafe. Oh. FileGamesPublishing.com doesn't exist. Okay. Engine Heart Kickstarter. Yeah, we'll be looking at Engine Heart later. Kind of in a more official capacity on the games that made it. But Joints and Jivers is a interesting game. Let me see. Power and Light, the Adventure module, 2013 core book. Where is the... Actually, we want to see the Engine Heart Kickstarter. We'll be looking at Engine Heart a little bit closer at a later date. But welcome to Engine Heart. This was probably TG's biggest success. This is the absolute kind of success story of the board in a few ways. And it's like, oh, cool! Look at it. It's so neat, and there's so much stuff here, and everything's cool. You know, the two free online. It's so awesome. But we want. Let me see. Backer schedule to receive books. $10 dice. Stretch goals. Where are we? What is viral games? They're gone. Oh yeah, they also did Betty and Veronica Meet the Punisher, Modempunk. But there was a there was one actually pretty sad thing about Engine Heart. And it was, let me see. Where are you, my friend? You're on Twitter? Tell me you're on Twitter. Was that Engine Heart, the little game that could. Engine Heart, he published it a few years after. You know, he published a bit after everything went on. And he made like no money on this game. Absolutely nothing. Fuck all. That's how much money he made on it. And it was like pennies on the dollar tier of, because nobody wanted it. And he was going to bundle Joints and Jivers with it. I don't believe that ever really occurred, really. But this is welcome to Joints and Jivers, the funkiest game available. The fact, yeah, here are your attributes: hair, shades, threads, funk, hip calorie, kung fu points, groove points, breakout points, wheelie points, boogie, tough funk. Yeah, funk is on here twice. Or how you had to be far out, or the man, or you a junker or a funker. We can't forget about your pieces. Hair, shades, and threads. Literally the entire game is about being in a blaxploitation film, and that's great. Wait a second. You do not die on me, you bastard. You little bitch. Okay, weird. But the premise was good. That was kind of a sad thing. And you'll be kind of noticing with Viral in a nutshell, his games are really good ideas, and they actually have a lot of heart behind them. The problem is, they are... No. They don't make it, usually. You know, one of the things is have fly hair score if he keeps a solid stash, but if a man takes away your shades, brother, it's best believe your shade score drops to 0 until you get him back. The entire game is written like this, by the way. It is supposed to be kind of weird, and be it scoring, style, shades, threads. You distribute 6 points. 1 point. You better have at least 1 point in threads. how down you are. Your funk score determines how much damage you can take and how much you can dish out. Time to be funky. Your funky, tough, and boogie ratings. Because, of course, there's a boogie rating. It's literally a D6 system at the end of the day. It is a basic, very simple D6 system in which you can spend some arbitrary points. It's your kung fu points, your boogie points, and your far out points, and I can't remember what the other one is. You can add those to roll more dice to do more things. But that's the point. That's one of the things you have to remember. Yeah, pretty much. Like it's time to, am I saying you have to use, 80s porn music when playing this game? Maybe. Am I saying it's a direct requirement? No. Am I saying that it's mostly a requirement? Yes. This game is 80s as fuck, and it revels in it. Yeah, the fact that you're kung fu, everyone knows kung fu, or those Far Eastern cats, such apart from those jive honkies. Nunchucks are your verified. You can add kung fu points, because of course we have kung fu points. If you want to outrun someone, both roll d6. The funk master, funk rating, whatever it just took. Here's a stare down check, but if you want to pick up some fly honeys with your slick wheels, better make that cruise check, baby. What the hell are kung fu points? Pretty much he can effectively add more d6s for spending his arbitrary kung fu points. And here's your welcome to the wonderful world of your various classes, such as being a cowboy, a detective, a disco king, the hustler, the leftover, the long hauler, motorhead, new ager, the wander, yeah. Nothing can stop you from playing how you want to play this game, which, yeah, you immediately get the idea of who these guys are by these silhouettes, in which I love that. You can also, hilariously enough, and someone did propose this once, you can use joints and jivers to run a Yakuza game almost flawlessly. You just change out, wheelies for your wheelie points for something completely different. Being like, congratulations, you've successfully made a Yakuza game. Just be more ridiculous. Their scores, the hair shades already set. These scores can change during the course of the game. Loses his shades or threads, or something happens to them, he's got to replace them. Now, one of the things is, you could lose your clothes, and then you have to buy new clothes. Such as, like, fine threads, or headwear, special headwear. But don't worry, there's also disco threads, rhinestone disco threads, kung fu threads. And everything looks the way it should. Everything acts the way it should. Everything is ridiculous and over the top, and I love it in that weird way. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Or you get things like Mickey is being free. At the funk rating 10. Acid or shrooms, you can commune with higher beings. It's wacky, it's weird, it's funky. That is the entire idea of joints and jivers. You clap your hands together, you hit the disco, you hit disco queen, and you're off to the races. Just like, it's time to get funky. It is time to get down, get funky, and we are gonna go, save some jive turkeys. Because that's what the game is about, and I love it because of it. Is the game simple? Very. Does it cost $30 to get a hippie van? Yes, it does. Does buying a fucking pickup truck, how, is that like a significant thing? Yeah, the shag wagon. Do you want to go into the shag wagon? That is a thing that you can buy in this game. Why? I don't know. But this is Modempunk. This was actually bundled with the game. I wasn't even intending on doing this one, but here we are. Same idea, but it's instead of kind of that 70s blaxploitation, it's more of like that 80s. Yeah, unlicensed electronic information is illegal because very 80s, very odd, very hackers-esque, you could say. And everything is based off of D12. Every single person has 8 stats based on those. They're ranked from 1 to 10. You roll a D12, you get stat or less, you succeed. That is literally the game. There's not a lot. You don't need to have it a lot. Or, stat modified Walkman and raise the 10 whenever she's using it for a freaking check. Right now, she's using a spoof of payphone to giving her a free call. Yeah, payphone lowers freaking stat by 1, so purpose of this check, her final stat is 9. That is literally the game. Game is very simple. Game doesn't really need to be complex, though. Involves writing codes, hacking general knowledge. Guns. Guns are things you shoot. Yeah, this is effectively is this a lane game? Maybe. I think it's more of that hackers-esque, like hack the planet, man. I think it's more of that way of things, and I'm okay with that. Hackers is a fucking gem. The unique stats are actually kind of interesting and awesome that your character could conveniently do, like whipping out a floppy with a virus on it at just the right time, or disguising yourself as a secretary to infiltrate a business. If your unique stat is a unique stat, you can just do whatever the fuck you feel like. Life points. Usually can't kill someone, only knock them out. If you lose your last life point from punching or kicking, make a health check +2. If you pass, roll a d12. You wake up after that many minutes. Yeah, like you get your shit knocked out pretty fucking fast. Like the game is actually kind of deadly in its own way, but that's kind of the point. Mostly, the damage system is kind of fucked though. So the damage is, she rolls a 1d12 for the damage. It comes up as 7. She divides that by 2, rounding down, which gives her a 3. Then adds the knife's damage +2. That is how you calculate damage, which is a bit bonkers, but it works. Yeah, hacker man. Don't worry, we're gonna hack the fucking planet, whether you like it or not. Yeah, it has designing. Excusez-moi. Fuck. I always hate when that happens. Oh, God. Don't start with anything but street clothes. If you have to find something better, here's some guidelines. Kevlar vest removes from 4 points of damage from gunshots. Riot armor, which includes helmet. Melee attacks and 3 points from gunshots. Literally what other people think you are. Are you a closeted weirdo that girls point and laugh at, or are you the most popular girl in the detention hall? It should be self-explanatory. GM sex. This is much that if you've made it this far, you probably have a good idea what the game is all about. Everything is 80s. Bootlegged low quality official media, but they're free and uncensored. And then probabilities. That is Joints and Jivers and Modempunk. The games are simple. The games are real simple, real easy to understand. But that's the point. No, that's the odd thing, isn't it? It's the point. They're supposed to be light, and they're supposed to be easy to play, because these were made by a single person doing it for free. Like me. Why do I do it for free? But unlike Janny's, I actually enjoy doing what I'm doing. But if anyone wants to pay me money, I'm down for it. Next, we're going to move on to Lost Source. Lost Source was actually recommended to me because it was like, oh wow, look how cool and awesome this game is. And overall, it does have some pretty interesting ideas to it. And you're like, all right, I wonder what this game's about. You know, it's I'm ready for it. Let's boot up 1D4chan, and in about an hour, we'll be able to successfully. Nah, no worries, no worries. I am content. It's ideally, see what I need to do, and I've been telling people I've been need to do this, is I need to formalize or at least get like a basic setup of what my work has been done, and like submit it to companies being like, this is the shit I work on and this is the shit I do, please hire me. Because I would love to work at some of these companies. I would love to. Hell, even TSR is coming back. Hell, I would kill to work at TSR just to say I have. But this is Lost Source. In case you're wondering, yes, this is this size. I do not know why it is this size. And this isn't just because I'm zoomed in. No, this is just how big the fucking like pages. It goes over. I have no idea why. But if you ever want a terrifying combination of words that make me die a little on the inside, what happens when you cross Eclipse Phase, Bloodborne, and the Dark Souls series with the tales of vanished of humanity? You get a grim, dark version of Engine Heart. Imagine this read in the voice of Aline the Crow. Oh no. It's used D100 roll under system. Guess what, everybody? It's Dark Heresy. That's what it is. It is dark fucking heresy. Because every game is just dark. I didn't mean to click at it. I didn't mean to click history. Because every game is simply just dark heresy with another coat of paint on it. And that pains me emotionally. But the game at least kind of looks right. Its cover anyway. The rest of the game looks like this. Rabid Ramblings of TG by the man Monotreme. Yeah, we're gonna skip this because this is literally all hostile. Like, it's very, very TG schizophrenic rambling. Okay, we've officially hit. Let me see. All right, let's do it. Okay, the first thing we get at 14 pages into this 35-page document is weapon mods. I wish I was fucking with you. I am not. That is like just a... Yeah, Daft Punk was included in this. It's TG, everybody. Like, let's not beat around the bush at all. It's TG. You get things like the edgy mod. I don't know why the edgy mod is here. Mono edged power weapon. You know, various different weapons and stuff. Like, this is a cool idea. Why is there Excalibur? Who the fuck knows? Spider legs. We have mod slot, jump jets. You can fly. No, jump good. Parachute, skates. We do not know actually how to make a character yet, by the way. None of this makes any sense. That's the best part. Like, so let's actually see. Mods, all players should bipedal human, basic frame with wavelength eyesight. The ability to detect nearby sounds, basic router, direct text communication up to 10 meters away. Mods can be bought with starting source at character creation. All right, let's move through here. And now, mind you, I was like pitched this like lost source. It's so awesome. It's so great. There's so much shit here. It's, you know, it's a really well put together game. It's really good, and there's like no problems with it. You should totally like it, and it's awesome, and we love it. And I'm like, okay, I am ready. I am going to do this. No. No, please. Not this. Mostly because one thing to note is that this game is actually from 2016. This game is only 5 years old. And that does pain me slightly. You know, being 5 years old is odd, because again, we've seen games that are 10 years old. We've seen games that are 8, 7 years old. This one's only 5 years old, and it's like, oh god. Alternate setting options. Don't worry, we have all our alternate settings. Okay, everyone, we've officially hit the base mechanics. Okay, everyone, it's Dark Heresy. That's it. It's a Dark Heresy book. They even cite, you know, see page 23, the second edition Dark Heresy player manual, subheading characteristic tests. That is what the game is. It is Dark Heresy. Is that bad? No, Dark Heresy is a good game. Is that good? You know, should we clap hands and say it's the greatest game ever? Absolutely fucking not. It's Dark Heresy. We've been here before. You know, degrees of failure, resurrection, not totally indestructible black box within their frames. This must be recovered. Like, all right, cool. You know, works up to generate a new body in less than a week at a significant cost of resources. Does not contain source. Yeah, source is your money, I believe. There we go. Source is your money. Because I'm just going to leave that right there. It definitely takes inspiration. We will not lie. I will not lie to any of you. There is inspiration in this game. And you have the Estus flasks. You have things like that. When you die, you pretty much give up all your source. I mean, and they at least change some of it, like strength, dexterity, mobility, processor, hardening, firewall, encumbrance, mass, perception. Why is mass poise? I don't know. You know, psych. Now, psych is like a really important attribute. You know, value represents character's level. The point of psych can be burned, lost, sacrificed. Fate point to automatically, epically succeed. That hurts me to read. Success plus 10 raises. A given task, this reduces all risable stats by 5. Permanently. Minimum 20, minimum encumbrance 2. Starting number of mod slots? Who the fuck knows? Nobody knows. So, starting out, if you ever want to see pure pain, starting psych is 1, unless mod and mass is static at 20. Firewall. Process handling. Firewall is your processor plus hardening divided by 2 rounded up. Which technically this would be and. Because, yeah, I don't know why. Because, English lesson for everybody here who doesn't speak English. The The humble semicolon. The humble semicolon can actually be usually construed as this. These are effectively the same thing in like English. It's a comma and. Oh god, are you? Are you gonna betray me again? No. So that's why I'm like, oh no. Hit points 10 plus hardening bonus. Starting source 1000 source. All right. Initiative. Ability plus perception divided by 2 rounded up. Experimental mechanics. The number of weapons that get an impact value associated with them. Target's mass plus attacker's strength versus attacker's impact. My thoughts exactly. What? Welcome to the wonderful world of TG crowdsourcing. You know, level up stat cost, psych times 1000 source can be raised 5 per level up. Encumbrance is leveled 1 point per level. Point of psych may be burned permanently, reduce the following attributes. Some rare location consume a point of psych to access. Signs a high psych reaction summons Goliath to a location. The GM should note the party's average psych. Psych spontaneously causes some city systems to react differently to the players. This is never explained, by the way. That's just something that you should, you know, understand. Now, who's ready for combat? Yeah, welcome to all of this. We have, you know, body checking, delaying. Everything needs something. And this is one of those, someone wrote this was someone's baby. Probably the guy writing this document. This was his baby right here. This is what he wanted to do. And that's why it has a table and like nothing else does. Called shot. Specific target of the body. -20 to a dex check. Degrees of success add an extra point of either armor penetration or damage. Disengage. Break away from melee without incurring a free attack. Because there's free attacks in the system. We learned that here, by the way. A free attack. You know, grappling. You know, grappled opponent cannot or escape from a grapple. Do they explain what a grapple is? Absolutely not. Here's all of the various parts. Dismembering. Severing opponent's limb. Other physically connected objects. -10 instead of -20. Corrosive. Flame. Oh. I think you're seeing the You're seeing the issue. Yeah, welcome. This is someone's baby right here. All of this section is someone's child that they are like, I need it. I want it. I want all of these tables. I want all of these different notes. Then you get shit like this. Graphic mods like paint jobs, cosmetic changes must be discovered through exploration unless psych is above a certain level. What the fuck is carrying capacity, and why does it not seem to apply to anything? Now, yeah, let's go on a carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is tripled. Carrying capacity is halved. Carrying capacity is limited to 10 times the encumbrance in kilograms. Now, you notice there's an issue here, and I think what happened is the person who wrote the alternate setting 3 knew what he wanted for carrying capacity. He knew what it was. But nobody else knew what carrying capacity was, but we need carrying capacity. Welcome to fucking this. We also have a hacking section. Here is a full section on fucking hacking. which is effectively it's combat but different. And then we have all our droids, all our enemies, which again, I think this was someone's baby child. This was someone's child that they wanted to, do personally, and they made it pretty and they made it right. So, what are my thoughts on Lost Source? Like, I like the idea behind Lost Source. It's pretty. It's like, if you were to pitch to me, if you pitched to me the game, hey, I want to run effectively, this robot Dark Souls Bloodborne thing. I'm like, that seems interesting. I will be curious to see what you do with it. And everyone claps their hands together and says, "Oh, cool, I'm down. I wonder what's going to happen here. I wonder what." And the answer is this. You get this clusterfuck of rules and non-rules of a dozen different people contributing without kind of like a singular person to kind of curate it. Like, overall, like, from what I've noticed from my time on TG when it comes to TG related projects, there is a particular I would call it methodology that goes into things. It's you have the idea. The idea is probably the most important part, and that's where you get the most people. Now, once you have the idea, then you get the crowdsourcing. You joke about Katawa Shoujo, but even Katawa Shoujo had problems. I'll be the first one to say that. And Katawa Shoujo is one of my favorite fucking pieces of writing ever. Like, the issue with, like, Katawa Shoujo is that every single route was written by different people. And if you actually, like, pay attention to some of the routes, things are wildly different. Like, the big one is the Shizune and Lily routes. Because Shizune's route takes place. If you're on Shizune's route, parts of Lily's route do not occur, and vice versa. Like, there are just entire parts that are ignored, like, things don't happen right, and, like, Emmy and Rin, they just cease to exist in those two routes. Pretty much you have, like, the Hanako, Lily, and Shizune, they're all together. Yeah, that happens. Like, it's a lot of, like, little things that occur in Katawa Shoujo, but I forgive it because it's fucking amazing, and I I will die on this fucking hill. By the way, uh, Katawa Shoujo is probably one of the best depictions of people with disability in a game ever. I will die on that fucking hill. It's one of the best depictions of them, because if you really notice, the disabilities they have mean nothing. That is not who they are. They are not defined by their disability. It is you can kind of get them in like a reference sake, but it's never the main aspect of their character, and that is one thing I love. But getting back to my idea here, other than me fucking cooming over goddamn the writing of Katawa Shoujo, is like once you hit the idea, like, that's great. Crowdsourcing is when you get less people, but you get the idea guys. This is where probably the most amount of work gets done on its face. Like, idea phase, this is where you get the ideas. This is where you get, like, the broad scopes. That is where you get the line of, where is it? Actually, we don't even need to reference it in here. We'll reference it. That is where you get this line. What happens when you cross Eclipse Phase, Bloodborne, Dark Source series with Tales of Vanished Humanity? You get a grimdark version of Engine Heart. That is that entire baseline. That is this part right here. That is good. You need this. Without this, you really don't have a lot of ideas. The crowdsourcing aspect is where things start kind of going wrong and where things get a little bit complicated, because every single person is going to have a different idea. Every single one of these people are going to have different ideas and want to take it in different directions. Sometimes you can, get people to subscribe to your point of view. Other times they will just refuse. Like, our idea is incompatible with your idea. Hence why we saw some of the ideas like carrying capacity and stuff like that. That is just incompatible with other people's idea. Now, kind of the third stage here is independent. Is the independent project stage. This is where one of these people, or like one of these people, take controls over it, and then that becomes the project. One group or one individual says, "This is now my project. This is where I'm going to take it, and this is how I'm going to do it." Arguably, this is the most important aspect. Once you hit this, you can actually get a game. A lot of the viral games we already looked at are like that. Viral, has taken it, says, okay, here's this basic idea. I'm going to take this game and I'm going to make it. I'm going to, cut the chaff. I'm going to eliminate parts that don't need to be there while keeping an idea, the main idea of it, and letting that crowdsourced information inform what I'm doing. But the problem is, once you hit that third stage, you're going to get people who don't like your idea. That isn't right. That you've forsaken the original concept. You have, made it go away. You've eliminated its value, and it's like, well, no, but yes, and then things get really complicated and no one's happy. Arguably, that's what happened to me and Witch Doctors and War Crimes, i.e., or Hearts of Darkness. I said, this is a way that needs to be done. Here are the ideas. Yeah, you're kind of getting the idea of it. It's just like, it's taking that idea of it that you've adopted and kind of making it your own, kind of twisting it where you need it there, Varric. And once you've hit that point where things are good, exactly, that's the idea. People are making it their own. Sometimes people are like, well, you're doing it wrong. This game is bad because it isn't way my game is. It's not my thing. Or that's kind of the issue when it comes to TG projects in general. You get a lot of people with a lot of ideas, all of which want to contribute their idea to be the real one. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And that's kind of the sad thing. That's kind of the bummer at points, where you end up losing points of the original idea, and there comes fallout, people start hating each other. That's where you get things like Halo Mythic, which they just completely disassociated with TG in general. But a little less grim, a little bit more grim. This is Small Towns. I actually found Small Towns today. And Small Towns is kind of an odd thing, because I've always known about it, but I've always never found it. It's always been away from me. I always forget about it, that it exists. But it's a chance failure. It's a 2d6 system. At its core, it is a basic 2d6 system with kind of more story gamey elements. And if we go to... Actually, is Small Towns even on here? on 1D4 town, 1D4 chan. I don't even think it is. It is. It is, Eric. That is what it is. It's kind of based on kind of that small town horror. You piece of paper, composition note for index card, name, gender, and age. Going to be a child only game or adult only game or mixed age group. Invest 3 dice into 3 invest your dice into 3 focuses. Determine your character's specialties, what they're good at. These should be make sense. Adult might be very skilled at driving or doing research. Might be skilled at sneaking around and stealing things. You might be tall, you might be short, you might be fat, you might be thin. Gear and budget. Few necessary pieces of clothing for various weather changes, social situations. Cheap technology, a Polaroid camera, flashlight, walkie-talkie, super soakers. Now, best in 3 focuses. The 5 focuses are fighting, thinking, and running. When you perform an action that relates to fighting, thinking, or running, you add a number of points invested in that specific focus to your end total. That's literally it. Congratulations. We've summarized how to play this game already. As an additional d6 you can add to have applicable rolls. A child named Robert is on the run from a horrible beast that walks up right on 2 legs, a grim mockery of man. Robert is a coward who spends most of his time doing 2 things, reading and trying his hard to run and hide from bullies, running. To save his pursuer may use a single focus dice he invested in running focus in addition to his dice rolled for the purpose of escaping from the monster. That's it. The specialties, roll fear dice, subtract from any roll you make. It's a very thematic game. And I always like this game for that reason, because it really does get across the feeling of this Twin Peaks-esque. Things are weird, things aren't quite right. Nothing is quite the way it seems, mostly because I grew up in a small town. And let's see, Richmond. Let's do a little bit of investigation, shall we? I'm not trying to dox anyone, but... Is this it? V3. Version 2 for TG. Yeah, this isn't even the 2012. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find this. But to give you the idea, this came out in 2012. Yeah, so this isn't even the full version of it. Though I think this version looks a little bit prettier, to be honest. But this is kind of the basic idea of it. Things suck, things are scary. Small towns are odd. If you've ever lived in a really small town, and I've told this story a few times, but small town horror to me is the horror of people knowing you without you knowing them. That is what true horror is. It's the absence of... Yeah, no, I get you there, Eric. But this horrifying story was, I was a young kid. I was probably like 10, 11. And I needed a new headset. And so I'm like, hey, let's go down to, I believe it was Pomida. I think Pomida was still in there. I don't remember. Pomida was like a brand. It was like a Walmart brand. It was like budget Walmart in that area. And we go out. It's me and my mom. We're gonna go down to Pomida. We're gonna see if we have them. We're just gonna go shopping too. We go in, and our neighbor pulls us over. And we are literally pulling out. Our neighbor like walks out into their front yard, and then like waves us over. We just stop in the middle of the street and talk to them. We're like, hey, what you guys doing? Oh, we're going to go down to Pomida. We need something to go. Like, oh, cool. I'll see. And they ask me like, hey, what are you looking for? I'm like, oh, I'm looking for a new pair of, a new headset. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Have a nice day. Yada yada yada. By the time we reached Pomida, which was about a 10-minute drive, the manager comes up to me and being like, hey, Notepad, baby Notepad, you need a new pair of heads. You need a new headset, right? Like, yeah, I need a new headset. And I take a look at all their new headsets. They didn't have the ones that I was looking for. And I'm like, crap, I don't have the headset I'm looking for. I'm probably going to get them off online. That'd probably be the easiest. And he's like, okay, cool. And by the time I get home, another neighbor stops us and being like, hey, I heard that you're looking for a headset. My son's getting a new one, and he was wondering if you wanted his for as kind of a holdover. And I'm like, nah, don't worry. Mine still works. I just need a new one. It's getting a little bit crackly. And then we pulled in, and it was done. This all took place in about a span of about an hour and a half. That is small town horror. It is the idea that people know you without you knowing them. And that idea of that really close-knit community where people are so in the know. And that town, I still have friends from there, but that town had clans in it, for God's sakes. Like, if you did not piss off the certain clan, certain families, because they knew everyone and they controlled things that nobody else knew. Like, I know one family pretty much had hands literally every single, like, bank in town. Another one owned every single gas station except 2 in the entire area. It was really funky. That is how I kind of summarize small town horror. Just everyone knows each other and people know who know. Like, there was arranged marriages going on. That was like one of the really strange things. Like legit arranged marriages, which was, oh, well, my son is going to become really good friends with your daughter, and they're going to get married when they're like in high school. We were in like elementary school when these were decided upon by the families. It was like, ugh, freaky shit. But this game is actually pretty cool. It is very simple. Consider have scrapes, which are something shrugged off or ignored. 2 points of damage that are considered to be roughed up. Hurt. Characters hurt, no penalty. Then you go to injure. It's kind of a stacking health system. The more you get, the more damage you take, the more it's a spin down system. That's the word I'm looking for. Spin down. Good tag, bad tag. Good tag is like precise because it describes positive quality of the item. Bad comes like fragile, which complications. A lot of good tags. Good tag coming into play turns a partial success into a success. Pretty much if you roll a 7 instead of just getting like a check, you get a good check. Bad checks, it's bad. Silently, a vague term in the world of guns. Shoot an enemy and failed. Your gun's loud tag might come into play and reveal your location. A bad tag comes into play, a partial success into a failure. They're situation specific. Critical success and partial successes. The weapon does 1 additional damage for a critical success and 1 less damage for a partial success. I actually really enjoy this system. It is nice, easy, and thematic. And that's all you really need sometimes. Let me see. Sharp weapons, unarmed attacks, very basic ones. Vehicle impact. I'm very glad any game that includes hitting someone with a fucking car, because 95% of issues in horror movies can usually be solved by me hitting the right button. By hitting someone with a fucking car. This is not a thing that occurs in many games. Yep. Specialties. Magical damage situation. Yeah, we don't talk with magical. You also get some very pretty artwork. This is actually art from 2013, so this version was probably 2013. 2013, 14, probably. So this is about 8 years old. The hell, this might be even version 3. Hidden places. One cool thing, too, is that they actually let you roll up your own town. And, you know, oh, what are the hidden places? What are some odd places? What's a safe place? What's the unknown? What is out there that wants to kill us? Very Gravity Falls-esque, yes. Exactly, Varric. I games that have like good vehicle, like I'm going to smash you with a fucking car, very good. I really only see those in horror games though, which I find funny. It's like Call of Cthulhu, where you're like, there is a problem. What do we do with the problem? Sir, why are you John, what's with the truck? Why is the truck going? Why are you oh god. Oh no. Yeah, the devil himself is an option. If you roll 2 6s, you can get the devil himself. Scracky likes to play and enjoys lives that so as he read, but sure, they go down a dark place with a smile on their mugs, smoke glasses, it's form devil that takes when he's a blind and in the way and willing to hunt, gamble, and scam to get those required. And we have our town chart names. You know, let's. Because I'm feeling good. Let me see. Do I have any D6s in here? I have 1 D6. Notepad, get real. I have all these cool, unique dice, but no D-fucking-6s. God damn it. I know I have a D6 in here. Yeah, the very bottom of the damn thing. And so let's roll up our brand new town name. Let's see. We ended up with we'll call it a 63, so we are in Black. Welcome to Black Hills, everybody. I've actually been to the Black Hills. They suck. Very pretty, but they are boring. Yeah, Aurora Beach sounds like a place that you've already been, and that's like one thing I actually enjoy. Like, I always love like random little town names, and like any of these kind of charts, I like. I like little charts like this. I hate writing these charts though. I despise writing these charts because they are very annoying and very long and tedious to do. But like, I like it anytime they're in a game. Common throughout most of the country, as well as towns with Native American Spanish names. Spirit of random rolling cannot come to town name yourself. Monteville rather than Mountainville. Called directly off the chart. Reroll of nonsense town name like Mountain. All I'm saying that if you lived in a place called a Mountain, I would be down. But that's also like, hey everyone, let's go down to the Tomboy Mine. Because Tomboy Mine is technically a place. And then finally, the unknown is unknown. But Small Towns is thematic. It's solid. It has like this kind of quirky art style, which kind of makes things a little bit quiet. I wish there was more. Apparently there is that V3, which I'm interested in. I might try to find places like that. I might try to find version 3 if that actually is a thing. Yeah, no. Anytime people like have like example places, like what it's set a game, you can always tell if it's like this is a place I've lived or a place I know fairly well. The only one that I've actively used in like I've used it in my writings, I've used it in some games. It's the Wick Hills, which is a county in a place by Springfield, which is mean that doesn't really exist. It's kind of in a weird quasi-state. It's statewide. Just a lot of little hills, a little valley with a bunch of little towns, and no one really trusts each other. And the big city is New Swansea, and everybody is very quiet. No velocity. You'll be coming up soon. This is STALKAN. Now, contrasting the other one, this is. I do know the Russian currently in the chat is probably dying a little bit looking at this. It's that beautifully pseudo-Russian, pseudo-Cyrillic look to things. But we all love pseudo-Cyrillics, don't we, everyone? But STALKAN, the Stalker RPG, is a game of stalkers from the popular franchise Stalker, based off Roadside Picnic, which is... There we go. That's what I need. Mwah. Just the immediate scream of pain from the Russian. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. But Stalker is kind of an interesting game. An interesting franchise in general. Oh, nice. 2 Stalker supplements. Because everybody wants to run a Stalker game. Everybody wants to run a fucking Stalker game. But nobody ever wants... Running a Stalker game is very easy on paper, but there comes a lot of weird Eastern European video game jank that people are like, well, we need this, or something. This game is actually D20 Modern. It's a modified version of D20 Modern, with all the additional issues that go along with it. I know what game you're talking about there, Varric, the Stalker RPG, which do I actually have? I know I have it, actually. Yeah, this is the Stalker RPG, which is based more off the... If I remember correctly, I'll actually probably make this part of the curious case for franchise games. But this is I believe it's Finnish. Yeah, which... This is based more off Roadside Picnic than it is based off of Stalker, the games. Which, if you ever want a very confusing story of like copyright law, first there was Roadside Picnic, which was written in the Soviet Union. We really didn't get until... I didn't believe the West really got that book until the 90s, even though it was written in like the 70s. It was an older book. And from there, a movie was made called Stalker, which had nothing to do with the original book, but it was based in the same idea, in which a bunch of guys try to go find the Wish Granter, which was made in the 80s, which you can, I think you can find nowadays. It just got released like 2-3 years ago. It was very odd, but they made the Stalker movie, which then from there we got from Roadside Picnic the games Stalker, the Stalker games, which are based on its own interpretation of Roadside Picnic, which is its own thing. And which, have, the anomalies, the zone. That's not... It's in the original book, and Roadside Picnic's one of my favorite books ever. I love it. It's there, but it's in a very different context, because, like, the zone in the book is really fucking weird. Like, you get a lot of strange things that go on to it. Ironically, if you watch Seth's review on the Stalker franchise, he goes over the book, too, quite a bit. Very interesting. But... Now we're getting Stalker 2, which is a sequel to the Stalker games, but the Stalker RPG is not based off the Stalker games. It is based off the Stalker movie, which is in turn based off the Roadside Picnic book. But the movie's called Stalker. What I'm saying is, God damn it, Russia. God fucking damn it. It's very, very confusing. you, you get it, Salmon. Welcome to the naming and like legal history of the Stalker franchise. It is very fascinating stuff, and I think that's like now you're understanding. You're seeing it. Yeah, very. It's very confusing because like I think the Ukrainians made the video game. The Finnish made the tabletop game. Then there's so many like mixed parts that using the same name, the same base setting. I wouldn't doubt it. And there is actually, I know in in the Metro series, actually, if you ever want to hear something very interesting, the Metro series, uh, the guys who go above ground, they are called Stalkers as well, as an homage to the Stalker franchise. Yeah, it is a mess of like of it, but it's Roadside Picnic is like a great fucking book, and if you haven't read it before, you should totally read it because it is very grim, but it also gives you a very it's weird. It's has its own personality, and I think it's a pretty good game for that. However, this game we're looking at, STALKAN, is very much based off of the video games. Hence why we have literally a render of, I believe, is that Duty? I believe that's a Duty officer. I can't tell. Oh, wait, no, that's a clear sky operator, I believe. Little blue. Yeah, but this is a yeah. The rules in this chapter and others later clash. The latter takes precedence. You're gonna get that a lot. It's a D20 game. Natural is no automatic failure unless rules state otherwise. You know, you have your basic attributes. The only really big change is that they took out like intelligence and replaced it exclusively with perception. And reflex and agility have been split. It's like, okay, that works. But H ability modifier, the modifier can be calculated using this formula, very basic formula. We've all used it. We also have our saving throws, our skill points, our action points. Because there's an action point system in this game, look, players are apply at every level he or she attains. The character must use them wisely. A D20 can spend one action point to alter a single D20 roll to make an attack, skill check, or ability check, or saving throw. Action points are not action points. They are more like fate points. Honestly, Varric, I'm surprised Melon hasn't already made a Stalker supplement, and if you ask him, he probably has one. That man has made everything for ops and tactics at this point. Like, that's what's usually recommended as well. And I think this game it's based on D20 Modern, but I believe it does have some influence from our ops and tactics in a few ways. So let's actually we're going on an adventure. Stalking. Stalking. Hello, phone. What is it, phone? You was telling me something. I don't care. This is where they like it. Okay, here we go. Stalker the RPG, called STALKAN the RPG, just to further. Yeah. Let's actually dot. Yeah, this is Stalker, the sci-fi role-playing game. This is the one we looked at earlier. These are the other RPGs. But yeah, death, dying, and healing, allegiances, pledging allegiance. You get a small bonus for being a part of it. It's like a +2 to your like any of your like charisma checks. That's really it. Yeah, with GM's permission, the character gains +2 circumstance bonuses, charisma-based skill checks of dealing someone of the same allegiance, as long as the character had some interaction with the character to discover their connection and bring in a bonus into play. Reputation, fame, and infamy. One of the things about this game you will quickly notice is that it is very much based on the games and a lot of the game's mechanics. Here's like the reputation checks and how all the different reputations are here, or what your allegiances are. Like, don't really have a big points in game logic wise, but it's like, oh. So looking at the old, this game is by sheer technicality about 11 years old. However, this is not actually the true version. I think that's kind of the odd thing to say. Probably more around 2015. Oh geez. Probably more around this era, 2015, is when we actually get the like legit one. Oh jeez. Oh Jesus. Oh Christ almighty. Yeah. Yeah, nope. It's us. It's that. Oh boy, let's like, oh wow, there's nothing here. It's never anything here. God bless TG. Yeah, because the version that we're reading is the most up-to-date version. Uh, Let me see. Fourth, rule set reached its final form. Cover art was made. File remained a doc instead of a PDF form, to the disapproval of many. Where was it? Oh yeah, left the guy left to die here. I have overhauled, and here it is, 2.4. This is the true version of the game, probably. But barely finished project. The game is finally playable. As much TV as decent start. Every modified and expand playable. Decent character creation, character she's been made. Pictures for being pledged have been added too. Which is to say, this game by itself is about 5 years old. And here's the cowering, here's the days. Dead. Dying, entangled, exhausted. All your D20 thoughts. You like D20 Modern? Congratulations, you can play this game. Determine your ability modifiers, determine your endurance, your blah 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 blah. It even has skills and feats. Because yes, this game does have feats for some reason. Why does it have feats? Who knows? But here's the feats. So +2 to hit on headshots. Human Hauler, 4 damage on all enemies. Mutant Mauler, reload training, 5 free action reloads per encounter. Why? And then we have all the settlements, and in the field, and all the animals, and all the zombies, and here's all the traveling checks with a different fucking font than everything else. Here's another different font. Here's an entire system about investing in things. Here's how the battlefield goes, which is every single fucking thing. Free actions. And what I'm trying to get across here is that this game is D20 modern, and there's nothing wrong with D20 modern. Some people love it, some people hate it. Yes, I will allow. Yeah. Also, uh, I had to approve the use of the term Rahowa, which I find that interesting. Twitch, don't worry, Twitch. None of us are ultra nationalists here. We have all the bestiaries, vicious little creatures, 15 HP. Dogs only have 35. Snorks. Oh boy, my absolutely favorite monster, bloodsuckers. Burrs. Pseudo dogs. Oh boy. Copies. Pseudo dog who's several copies of itself. Zombies. Zombarinos. Very simple. Like it's a stalker game. Like that's all I can really say. And there's a lot of inventory management. Oh boy, everyone loves inventory management. Here's all your items. Yeah, bread, sausage, tourist delights, fresh water. Because you need that. It's not great formatting, but if you take it in the idea that this is literally one guy doing this by himself with this is 78 pages, and probably the original was infinitely worse. Yeah, no, I'm not giving the guy too much worry. Like he probably did his best. I always Yep, do you like these high quality images taken directly from the game? I know I do. God, this is artwork. Ah, yes, my submachine gun, the AK-74, AKM. The and more abacus and just roses. Yeah, very much the yeah, dog meat. That is a very yeah. Yeah, it's the formatting isn't great. However, I'm going to give it a little bit of a pass because he probably just took the original like literal doc file because he kind of was reading in the well, it was a doc file forever, and he just made it a PDF. So I'm assuming that a lot of these are that they are based entirely around that idea. Like, oh yeah, here's like the whirly gigs. Magic spins around breakneck speeds, followed by a light whirlwind above the ground. One DC reflex save to escape unharmed. Second DC 15 escape with 10 damage. 30 damage afterwards. Afterwards, DC 15 reflex save. Oh god. Yeah, not the prettiest in the world. And here's the character sheet. Yeah, you like the character sheet? Yeah, there's a needs system because of course you need food, water, and sleep, and nationality, birthplace, sex, age, weight, height, hair, eyes, membership, previous occupations, class, level, player, character. Yeah, I have a strange and beautiful feeling that what he did was take the original. Yeah, these are also just maps from Shadow of Chernobyl. Nothing else. That he took the original doc file and just made it his own and just put in what fixed what he needed to fix and put it in. But the STALKAN RPG kind of shows what happens to a lot of games at the end of the day, which someone takes it much later on and fixes it. And makes it better, makes it easier, or just kind of refuses I won't compromise on what it is. I must fix it. I'm going to make it, make it better. It's all this jank is on purpose. It's supposed to look like this, or the fact that sorry, I can't use the fucking D20 modern system. Yeah, whoops. Or it's like the misery mod T. Like it's very let's go visit Maffo here real fast. What have you been doing, my friend? Stalker game using Morkborg. I mean, they do have Cyborg coming out soon, so I wouldn't be surprised. Let me see. Oh, found him. Oh, oh my. Oh, he's a commando. Yep, that makes sense. That adds up. He's a commando. Yep. Additional editing, formatting, rules, addition, and changes by Maffo. Yep, he is a commando at its finest. Looks like he's German. Yep, a German. Yep, this makes sense. Let me see. AK production, Netherlands. He wants to sell. Yeah, EU, Netherlands. Oh, he's Dutch. I'm not doxing this guy, by the way. Don't give him any trouble. But yep, this is what he's. Looks like he is an airsoft guy, gun guy, commando at his finest. Which adds up. I can respect that. Uh, yeah, yes, Varric. Yeah, let me see. Did I almost dox myself? Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, probably. Yeah, here's the funny thing. I actually don't use Reddit. Oh yeah, my Gmail account. Uh, guys, I'm gonna tell you something real secret. Um, anytime you see me on here, anytime you see any of this here, you can contact me. It's not that difficult. Like literally every single thing I do, I put on Google Docs. You can find my email. Not that stressed. And I don't actually even use my Gmail for much. Like if you guys want to send me an email on my Gmail account, like let's see. The last time I used my Gmail, I had like 15,000 emails because I just don't touch it because Gmail sucks. So congratulations. You have discovered my public information of my Gmail. See, way back in the day, here's the secret. Way back in the day, my Gmail used to just be my actual name, but now it is not my actual name anymore because I have half a brain. So the more you learn about Notepad, there's some note lore for you. If you guys ever do need to contact me, feel free to hit me up on my email. It's notepadanon@gmx.com. Hit me up, boo-boos. So our final game we're going to be looking at is Velocity. Very big game. This game came out. This is the version 1.42, 2018. There have actually been a few versions of Velocity, and it's one of those games that people have like debated on, like, why isn't this like a legit product? Finally, I can become Denise, my dream. Fucking Denise, god damn it. I can make fun of him all I want. I had no part of doxing him to the hell and back. And whoever did was a fucking moron. But let me see. Velocity. Velocity is a game that's been on TG for a while now. So if we actually go to the history, Jet Set Radio, based on Jet Set Radio, Air Gear, Velocity channel. I actually joined the Discord. Keeping note that anything not specifically created by the makers of Velocity are copyright to the respective owner. Currently maintained by Mr. Blue Sky, who also does work on the Super Mario RPG, because that is a thing. See, this is what I remember of Velocity. This is the cover art I recall. But there are let's see if I can actually show this. Yeah, this exists back in 2013. So let's see the revision history. The original one came out in 2010. This game is officially 11 years old, but has been receiving pretty consistent updates all the way up to 2018. Had some cool ideas in it. I would not call this game complex, just fast. Latest version of Velocity. Yeah, this is the latest version. Velocity Discord, hugs and kisses to TG. Mwah. So, introduction, auditions, characters, be who you want to be. Pretty much, this play Jet Set Radio, and you've already got like the entire fucking game storyline. Also, I like the game. However, it is formatted like this. Do you enjoy your huge walls of fucking text? Get ready for it. Like, this is a majority of fucking games these days. You know, you have your high concept, stats, substats, and power levels. This is where things get a little bit weird. Stats that establish characters' fundamental parts. And from there, you have every core stat is attached to one distinct movement stat, also known as a tied stat or synchronized stat. These four movement stats are, generally speaking, the four most important stats that govern your overall mobility and are directly synchronized to respective core stat. Your movement stat is always equal to your core stat. In addition, every stat has four unique substats, alternatively known as skills. These are specialized and detailed project that project a more comprehensive picture of how a person's stats can be represented, as well as the degree of professional training or otherwise inborn talent. This has a lot of terms, but what it effectively means is this is your core attribute. This is how you actually move, because this game is all about moving quickly. And here's all your sub skills on it. This is literally it. It seems like there's a lot of information. Like, no, we are not talking about the Vogue magazine format in V5. We are not talking about that. We are a good Christian household here. But it looks really intimidating, but it's not too bad. But our basic stats are body, speed, mind, and soul. And our tied stats, if we scroll up: strength, agility, balance, and grit. Also, I stared at this image for like a good long while trying to figure out what the fuck it is, and I still don't know. Actually, is this all by the same person? Yeah, it is all by the same person. But that's welcome to that is how the character is. Pretty much your power level determines how high your stats can get. People usually recommend low to mid tier. Character creation, assign attributes. That's literally it. 13 points distributed among your stats. Common statistical spreads include the following: 5521, 5431, 5332. It's not too complicated. When depleted, bad things start to happen. Calculated body skull multiplied by 20. Oh, she does have a cat in her witch hat. That is pretty cute, not gonna lie. But character creation, point buy system, not too complicated. Vigor and drive, a surge of adrenaline. Your body and soul scores multiplied by 10. Energy and will be elaborated on the core mechanics section. Here are some perks. Bonuses, stat bonuses, passive perks, active perks, small bonus to actions. I like these odds. Or active 5 energy Super Mario when running, gain +1 jump checks when clearing notably treacherous gaps such as building between buildings or over canals. And then we have specialty skills, and then we have moderate bonuses specific or infrequent circumstances. +2. Then we have our classes, but aren't classes very like they are but aren't. When you pick a native style, other styles incur a -2 dice pool for efficiency penalty. Intensive tests involving said styles, such as biker trying to grind with rollerblades. In the off chance you were to like claim 2 styles at once, the 2 would be a -3 penalty. You can buy out these penalties over time if you want to expand your boundaries. So, runners, run. Skaters, skate. Boarders, board. Bikers, bike. You may be mystified about what the classes are. It's pretty much how you are moving. Are you biking, skating, running? That's what it is. And then we have our. You get $350 to buy your own shit. Cool. Here's our sample character. Why do we have blood type? I never understand why people put in blood types. I understand there's like a Japanese thing with it. Never understood it otherwise. Tomahawk military trained punk revolutionary. Appearance and style. Let's see what she is. She is living in Velo. Personality, history. So she's 4333, 80 health, 70 energy. Firearm trading, CQC. It's choose your own perks, choose your own equipment. Very simple, very easy. Oh god, no, we're going fast. We don't care about the lore. We don't care about storytelling. Core mechanics. Dice pool system. When you roll XD10. X is the number of dice pool depending on your stats and substats. Most of the time, X is calculated to do the most pertinent tied stat and substat to the task at hand, and it goes subtracting circumstantial and modifiers, as well as adding 1 extra talent die. Otherwise known as build your fucking dice pool and throw dice down, bitch. From here, she notes numbers unique rolled in that test and counts the dice that match or don't as the unique results. So, Emerald trying to weasel away past a bounce from exclusive knife. Wait a second, did I read this wrong? Natural core stat, soul is at 5. To help the fact that she has a perk that gives her 2 extra dice when ingratiating herself. Her dice pool is 3 + 1 + 2. So that would be 5, 60, 10, which comes out to 60, 10. This unique roll has the dice that match for unique results. What is this fucking system? Oh Jesus, I've read this completely wrong. So pretty much what it is if I roll a 1, I get an 11. If I roll 1 3, I get, okay, I think I'm getting it, 2 4s, 2 8s. Oh god, that is complex. That is very odd. Static obstacle, difficulty check, DC 10 is easy unless your character is crippled or otherwise handicapped. To fail this test, DC 15 makes for an average challenge. I mean, it's an interesting way. Dynamic actively opposed by another. Two soulful will. Bad result, but it's not enough compared to Esmeralda's 28. Alright. That's really all it is. Very simple. Because people are odd. Usually, if people don't understand the language, like Esmeralda, aka Emerald, some people don't understand that if you don't speak the language, or they just do it because if you've noticed what they've been doing, if they type out the word 10, they'll put parentheses 10. That is a very common, like, we need to, like, clearly establish everything, make things as easy as possible. But we also have things of them not capitalizing people's names, so do not question anything. We live in Clown Town. Degrees of success are 5 points over. There's momentum and style. Okay, here's more sub-mechanics. I like velocity. Here's the thing. I like velocity. There's a lot of points that make velocity interesting. You know, how fast things go, how you end up going quickly. You know, score at least 1 degree of success. You can use a success to give it on test in hand or save the degree of success by not applying to the success of the test in hand. There's just a lot of it. Like that is the that is like one of the big things with velocity is that there's just a lot of velocity. And I could go over every single part of this game, but holy fuck. There's a lot of it. And there's all the different modifiers and all the different notes and all the different pieces and parts that give things its own unique flavor to it, which the people who are going to like that are going to love it. Some people are going to love it, being this like, yeah, time to jump and ollie, like Mako Soul, extend balance 20, special, grinding requires rail equivalent. And what I'm trying to get across here is that this game is good. It has a lot of heart to it. There's just a lot to the game. And this is 10 years of people adding shit to it. This is 10 years of, well, let's put this in. 10 years of, we need this, we need that, let's fix this, let's fix that. On a single project rather than like, okay, it's time for an official second edition. Do you need every single part of these? Absolutely not. You don't need it. And it does not help that it's, again, formatted like this. Given infinite time and infinite resources, you could probably make this actually game look fucking amazing and very easy to read. The problem is, it is just annoying to read right now. That's why I'm kind of going through and just like da 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 da. Fluid and freeform, kind of da, da, da. Okay, it's zone system. Like, very simple game. It's not a complex system, but the issue is there's a lot of it. A lot of parts that are, you could mold down, that you can probably cut down on half and lose nothing. But we need all of it. We need every single part of this game. We need to be able to guard. We need to be able to dodge. There needs to be 15,000 different checks. And we need to be able to read this entire block of text without our eyes glazing over. Here's all the different weapons. Here's all the character progression. Like, I'm kind of going a little bit fast here, outside of us going through 9 other fucking games. But there are so many fucking parts to this game that it's really hard to just be like, all right, time to wrap it up. It's done now. Like, no, there's a lot. But that's effectively the game. Like, this is pretty much just the lore at this point. Go fast, have fun, roll a bunch of dice, do things. Velocity is pretty damn good. Not my particular bag of chips. I'm not invested in this game as someone else would. But if you really want to play that Jet Set Radio game, there are worse games to actually look at. But Velocity is good for what it does, but what it does is what it does, and nothing else. It's a little bit chunky, and I wish it could get formatted. I wish it was not blanket plain text formatted, with absolutely nothing here. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm not going to lie, but at least I try to avoid things like this. I try to break things up with pictures and stuff like that, or make it really easy to read. There's just a lot of it. And there's just a lot of things, and it's like, Kentucky, I'm ready. Like, it's like, you kind of go into this game expecting, like, it being a little bit lighter. Like, oh, look, it's so pretty and so anime-like. And then it's just like, don't make sure you catch your momentum styles, or you make sure you get your, your fucking, all your dynamic actions in place. It's like, oh, God. Oh, God. One day I pitched an idea of Savage World supplement based off of the Night Watch trilogy. Have I... Night Watch trilogy? I've heard of that. People keep talking about it. What is it? Wait a second. Is it this series? I remember this series. I thought it was really cool. I never got to watch it because it was kind of like that weird, like, no one really knew what the hell it was. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But that was Velocity. So what are my closing thoughts on the matter? What are my ending thoughts on all the games we went over today? The big thing to note is that this series is a game. The Curious Case is at its core a series about remembering what's been lost and what we are to gain. And one of the unfortunate parts about Velocity, about Small Towns, about any of those games, is that there's going to hit a point where they are gone, where they will cease to exist. And hell, even this is 3 years old. And we have to ask ourselves, what'll happen to these games after they kind of cease to exist? Because, even here, it's kind of difficult to even track things down at 1D4chan, because this 1D4chan is not barely associated with TG anymore. Which is kind of odd to say, because, this is TG's thing we all love. We love TG. Look at TG! This has nothing to do with TG hardly anymore. And I did see that, yeah. Varric, you're making me want to look at it more. But one of the things that it's kind of sad in its own way about 1D4chan and company is that it's not really representative of the original source material very much anymore, and it's going to come to a point where there will be a divide where it's like, this just isn't us anymore. And arguably, if Operation Sticky Fingers goes according to plan, that may be it. Because the people who use 1D4chan are sometimes people who've never been on 4chan even, who don't understand it, who just look at the memes. Hey, look at it, so funny. It's about Eduardo. Hee 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 hoo hoo hoo. Look, it's fucking tee hee macaroni, hee hee ha ha, hoo hoo. Yeah, it was down for quite a while. That was like that was kind of spurned my look at things. It's even odd now. Like if even if I like Catastrophe, for example. Catastrophe used to pop up here in like 1D4chan. It doesn't even pop up anymore. Hell, even if I type into Google 1D4chan, it will probably not show up actually, because they were saying like, yeah, we got removed. Yeah, no longer exists. 1D4chan down. Yeah, you can't actually access the site anymore from Google because there just isn't enough traffic. Though weirdly enough, you can act like if you type in Sprug Workshop, boom baby, it's mine. You could find me if you type in Sprug Workshop because I'm the only one who has that fucking name. But welcome to like 95% of, oh, look at our homebrews. Look, it's Imperium Asunder. It's the fucking hello phone. It's the 99,000 fucking 40k homebrews. I hate that, by the way. I really hate that with a passion. But all of these are. There will come a time when this place is dead. It is gone, and we will never see it again. And when that happens, I will feel sad. However, I will also understand. Because there's going to be a point where the people who are kind of invested in this place aren't going to be the same people who are the ones, quote, making things. They're going to be the people looking endlessly at it and questioning it. And then we have, but not to say anything of value actually occurs here. I should know, here's MGW, look at them and laugh. What the fuck do you people want? I should know. I should know I can't escape this place no matter how hard I fucking try. Um, but TG has its problems. I'll be the first one to admit it. At least they're not 5e homebrews. 5e homebrews have their own fucking nightmare. They're literally everywhere else. That's the funny part with 5e. It's one day I might actually go on itch or something and just do a little like looky there. But you know, actually, I got 20 minutes till we hit 3 hours. I may as well go to 3. Fuck it, let's go on a magic adventure. I can show you all. Yeah, of course the Aragon thread is still up. Everyone needs to bitch about Aragon. Everyone needs to bitch about Aragon. But like, this is itch. Itch.io is like a pretty big place when it comes to like people like distributing their fucking games. Hopefully you like games. Like, oh boy, let's see what's available for here. Oh boy, what kind of fun and fascinating new game? Okay, it's a solo game, world building game, Monster Guts, based on Lumen. I looked at Lumen. Lumen sucks. What are some other oddities that I'm like, what? Oh yeah, Steelweaver Rebellion. You can get Lancer. You can get the first edition PDF. First edition. Wait a second. Wait a fucking second. First edition. Hold up. Hold up. Let's see. Galactic 2E. I actually got this for free because they have community copies, which you should totally invest in. Because, fuck paying people money. The Quiet Year, which I find was hilarious. Fun fact about the Quiet Year. The Quiet Life, anyway. I actually submitted a project to Yuri Jam for the sole purpose of getting this game. Don't torture me, Eric. Oh yeah, I actually have this game. Yeah, fuck it. We're here. I can do it. I have no sense of right or wrong. Where are you? Did I put it in the other category? No, that's not Maku. Long night. See, you find shit like this on itch. This is Long Night at the Mech Bay, forged during a mech war. Like, what the fuck is this? Where are you? Cut to the feelings. Where are you? No, please, I need you. Car lesbians. We all like car lesbians. Quiet life. Hey, I entered a fucking Yuri Jam and got subsequently banned from the Yuri Jam. Where are you? Ah, here we go. Here's the Quiet Life. This game threw me for a fucking loop because this was the first thing submitted in Yuri Jam 2020. And it was hilarious. Role new nuns just live in a pastoral convent. One player who will act as the elderly pastor who leads the convent. The convent building is worn and storied. The land is plentiful. The air is fresh. Pastor, and there will be 3 to 6 players who will be nuns. Character and D6s. Now, they do the nun. They do the thing where like everybody is nuns. Now this may seem like all right, cool, whatever. I'm not gonna like harp on it. Like the idea is everything is based off cards, and it's like, oh hey, my thing is faith, diligence, guts, and modesty. Nuns assigned 4, 2, 1, and -1. Each nun is forte. Failing and failing, depending which attribute they assign a 4 and which they assign a -1 to. That's pretty much it. Forte or failing must immediately point to them and call them immodest. Accuser takes +1, -1 to their modesty. It's literally a game about being a bunch of gay fucking nuns. I'm not fucking with you either. Like, you have to complete chores and be gay. Like, then you get shit like this. That I do not understand why there are furries in this fucking game. They come out of nowhere. Like all right, guys, it's time for some furry nuns. It's like, what? Why are there furry nuns? Like, what? Why does this exist? Why? Why is there a furry nun? Illy short face out in front of them. Do not complete a single chore during the day. And then there's monsters. Like, I don't understand. Why? That's my question. Why? Like that's my only like answer is this like again the furries must have given money. Yeah, and then it's like be gay at each other. Like this is why it got submitted to Yuri Jam exclusively for this one image. Oh yeah, when with a bunch of nuns in a convent, things can get very gay very fast. Whenever it aids another towards, they both roll the same result on their dice, and they share a sweetly intimate moment together. Each nun writes on the other names down on their own character sheet. I've marked another's nun name down twice on their character sheet. Emotions can overtake reason, and both nuns end up getting a little flustered. They are now in a relationship. Nuns can be in multiple relationships at once as long as all nuns consent to it. Because remember, just helping people out, being like, hey man, you need help cleaning the fucking floor, it can automatically lead to homosexual relationships. That is God bless people. God bless itch.io. That's all I gotta say. Also, we don't talk about this. We don't talk about that. Also, she doesn't have her fucking habit on, which she should. But always put your habit on, kids. It's just the transition from like, ooh, look, nuns to whatever the fuck this is. I love it. Yeah. Now, the one thing that annoyed the shit out of me, Where was it? They wonderful illustrator. Uh they cited like one of my absolute favorite artists on the tweeters, which is Diva. Advanced car lesbians. Oh god. Yeah, this is Diva. She does the Little Nuns. Give her a follow. Little Nuns good. I love the Little Nuns. They make they make the day better. They make the day worth living. Base nun poster is gone, unfortunately, so I don't get my daily nun intake like I used to. But yeah, follow her. Very good. I have no idea. Was this like, you know what the world needs? You know what the world needs? Gay nuns. I'm just like, no, no, that's not how any of this works, my friend. God does not. That is a no-no. Duck nuns. Yes, the duck nuns. And you are correct, Mr. Pillager. Your character sheet does go up in flames if you try to be straight. Advanced car lesbians. There's so much fucking things to car lesbians. It'll be a pain in the ass to do because it's so light at the same time. I'd have to like rewrite it. But yeah, apparently that game, like, you get a lot of like these very odd games on itch. And where was like, yeah, okay, like shoot and loot. Like, all right, rules like tactical shooter RPG. There's going to be probably $10, 15 megs, and it's going to be all art. I can guarantee you, it's all art. Now, some people are okay with paying that much. Some people like paying that like like a chunk of money in exchange for like something like an art piece or something. That's fine. I'm not gonna like harp on people for it. I just want to like point it out. I'm like, bruh, bruh. Also, I get to make we all get to make fun of my friend Sleeps here for him not taking the initiative with his game, and there already being another one that's doing the exact same thing as he wanted to do with it. Let's all laugh at Sleeps. Ha ha ha. But is this PPTA? It's probably PPTA. God, and cycle oppression that must be. Modern Filipino folklore. There are a lot of Filipino games, by the way. That is one thing that I never understand. Like, it's time for more Filipino RPGs. It is the time for the Filipinos. I have no room for a wallflower 25. Where was that one I found? It really mystified me. Oh, yeah, we also get a lot. I'm okay with games like this. Like, it's a little bit like I buy it for the fucking art. Like, honestly, buy it for the fucking art, if anything. Because yeah, very, very ethereal, very odd. But it's like, here's a fishing RPG. I don't even know how like the mechanics work. It's a rock paper scissors dice combat. Like, I have no idea what that means. It could be literally nothing. But I'm like, I'm dead. I'm like, I buy it for the fucking art if you really want. Where are some other odd ones? Lady Blackbird, which is a fantastic game. Everyone should actually just take a look at because it's very good. Where Yeah, you find some odd ones sprinkled throughout, but mind you, there are a lot of these games. There are a fuck ton of these goddamn little games that it's then the solo journaling games. Can any of you explain to me what the fuck to compose systems like those they use in LARP? Yeah, I've seen stuff like that, like the LARP systems. Fucking fishing mini game. I know about the fishing mini game. Still bamboozles my brain. But I will never understand like the solo journaling games. They are like, I've seen solo RPGs, that makes sense. But it's like, it's time to journal. I'm like, why? All right. It's time to journal, I guess. We're journaling. Where's some other odd? Also, the Pokemon pen and paper edition. Don't worry, guys. If you wanna, I got told originally that like I really shouldn't like put like copywritten stuff on, but then I see shit like this and I'm like, fuck it. Itch.io has no sense of right or wrong. As long as I just don't pay money for it. I charge money for it too much. It'd be pretty alright, but I doubt anyone's actually gonna give a shit. What? Superhero Cinematic Universe RPG. What the fuck? Standalone one-shots can be linked together to form a larger name. Wait a second. I've seen this. No. Weird. All very odd. I do not get it. Yeah, itch.io produces some interesting games. Yeah, I wonder if I can find myself on here. There we go. Hello, here's me. Follow me. Give me money. We can look at Kickstarter Strange this. People love. Oh, that's not. Ignore that. You saw nothing. Let's see. I mean, the thing is, I'm not too fussed about you guys learning my name. I'm really not. Because, what the fuck are you going to do anyway? Let's see. Mostly because it's not like I have, like, a really, like, obtuse name. It's not even spelled right on there because I deliberately do it to fuck with people. Where are we? What to sort by? Let's do the newest ones, just because I feel like hurting myself. See, yeah, you like the publishing in certain countries you can get away with differently. Like you can get away with things if you can get in contact with the publisher. See, that is my dream. That is Notepad Anon's dream. That's actually kind of neat. Actually, I'll have to. You have to show that to me one day. Send me a link if you feel like, Varric. I don't know if it's like exclusively on like Russian servers or whatever, but I would love to get picked up by a publishing group and just have them publish my shitty games and let me write things for them. That's the dream right there. Let's see what we can find in here. See, you find a lot of interesting things, and one thing I've also noticed is a lot of the the miniature companies, they only give you STL files now. And that's one thing I found very fascinating. I expect nothing less, Varric. That is the beautiful thing. I expect nothing less for it than to be half borked. I will take note of that right here because I'm lazy. But like, you get a lot of STL files here. Also, quest for D&D 5e. Get ready for 5e stuff. New characters, artifact. Jesus, $26,000 fucking dollars. Warehouse 13. I remember this TV show. I don't remember there being a game. Oh, there was a game for it. The board game. That's cool, I guess. It's a board game. $35,000 goal. Fuck. STL files. Rochambeau. Gods of War. See, I was like looking at these because you can always find some of the odder games, like what's doing well and what's not doing well. Mostly when you find in like these earlier games, when you find far. Yeah, Warehouse 13. Anyone remember Warehouse 13? I remember Warehouse 13. That's some good shit. Also, the Kraken God, 3,000 euro have been dedicated to this game. 3,000 euros have been dedicated to this game, and it's probably going to be about 20 pages, probably, because we can't have nice things in this cursed world of ours. Grimdark campaign setting for 5e. Yeah, because when I think 5e, I think Grimdark fucking settings. But one of the reasons I kind of wanted to go through some of these odder Kickstarter games is because $11,000, Jesus. We see a lot of these games come out, but these always come at a cost. There's always that dollar amount that kind of it saddens me a bit. It does sadden me a small bit because you get people like on 1d4chan who do it for free, who are, I'm pumping out a game because I feel passionate about it. You know, it's me and 1,000 other people crowdsourcing effectively this game that may or may not even fucking work. I find that admirable in a strange way. It's pleasant to even think like there are people out there who would spend time and effort to make something and release it for free. And then you get people like this who are like, PLN? What the fuck? What the fuck is PLN? It's Polish. Oh my god, it's Polish. Oh, I'm gonna have to bully the Poles on this one. The Defiant RPG? I've never heard of this. It's a fucking... Wait, okay. World of Defiant. Okay, what's the system? Choice and obstacle. Influence story of different theme questions. Scripted traits. Oh no. Oh no, it's a story game. How much money do they want for it? They want 14. Wait, pledge. They wanted 14,000. They wanted 54,000 PLN. That'd be Polish money. Oh, that's pretty good. 500,000 rubles. It's like modern day Resplendent Ancient Gods and Dragons now in print. Like it, you don't really see anything coming out of other countries on Kickstarter, but like this is a full-on Polish game. I'm going to bully the Poles, and there even is a fucking gaming aid. Like this seems like it's a big game. Strange. Lawman, the RPG. How much money do they need? They only need 1,600, and they made 11 grand already on this. That's pretty cool. Let me guess, it's going to be PBTA or something like that. This concept's like 15 years ago, and that would be cool if we can make it, but I don't know how. Oh wow, Captain Calvin Hobbes, Whedon 4. I hate everything. I hate every single part of this character already. Why Whedon? Why Whedon? Why fucking I hate it. So much. Quick start for the PDF. Oh no. See, I like it when games get made that are actually unique because you get a lot of games that are not. See, what I need to do, I need to hire like a personal artist to just do all the art for me, or kidnap one, like just something, because I'm a cheap bastard and I don't like paying money. Like we've actually this is pretty decent Kickstarter stuff. Oh, Bard's D&D Macbeth. Oh, 400 $402 and you need Australian dollars and you 201% funded. No shit, you're gonna get that. You can buy it your fucking self. Very, very, very weird. Relaunch. I don't get people who do like relaunches. Like you fucked up the first time. Maybe not try to try again, please. STL files, STL files, more STL files. Like that's how you fucking make money in this world. You just make STL files for people. But yeah, yeah, it's Family Trivia's big fucking money. Like Family Trivia is where you make your big boy monies. But I'm gonna call it there for today. We did pretty good. We got a lot done. One thing to note is, let me open up my handy dandy file here. So, going off our handy dandy file of the future curious cases that need to be done. Kickstarter Oddness, we have Outbreak Undead 2nd Edition, Survival of the Able, and the Queen's Cavaliers. Weird thing is, this one got canceled. The Queen's Cavalier got canceled due to health issues, but it was done and funded. So I was like, that's odd. Survival of the Able was just a clusterfuck. This game just kind of came out of nowhere, and then I haven't seen anything about it, ever. So it's like, gotta find it. Mecha games, I got, fun fact, half of these games you can't get anywhere. So I have to wait for very special sources to come back. Then we have like all these weird punk games I was finding. There's Dice Punk, Toon Punk, and then the one-page RPGs. Very fascinating, very interesting. I actually already did Masks, I believe. Actually, no, did I do Masks? I don't remember. I have to find Fellowship 2 2nd Edition. I can find half of Fellowship 2nd Edition. I cannot find it, though. Found this one on accident. Nahuel Mexican Urban Fantasy. Looks really fucking cool. And like, oh wow, it's a PBTA game based on something that isn't stupid. Actually, what I should do is... Whoop. Now I get to wait until I get to get more shit from TG. Roughly speaking, up here... Engine Heart. I know how to get Engine Heart. I have the quick start for Eoris. I'm trying to find the rest of it. It's a lot easier said than done, though. Because Eoris is a weird game with a lot of weird parts to it. I cannot actually find a copy of Busty Barbarian Bimbos anywhere. So, but I do know somebody who has it. So I'm going to see if I can't get that, as well as by the author of Lady Windermere's Fan. I'm going to see if I can't find that as well. And once I secure these, I'll be comfortable in doing that. Kind of depends. Japanese TTRPGs 2. I have Tenra might have to be its own thing because of how fucking huge that game is. It's just big and chunky and nightmarish to actually even consider. Same with Tokyo Nova. Like, these two are really big, so these might be in like one video by themselves. But I have Witch Quest 2nd Edition. I know how to get Shin Megami. I know how to get Double Cross. I believe I already have Double Cross somewhere. I believe I do. I know I do not have Shin Megami. This one's really odd because it is an assassin game where you're all playing against one another. Very fascinating. For our... Actually, give me 1 second. Bottoms, the official RPG. So I found the Bottoms RPG. That game was 141 megabytes, and it was a bitch to find. Got the Starship Trooper game, got the Ruby tabletop game, found the Savage World, I believe, Deluxe Edition based Kingdom Hearts game. I need to find all my old Song of Ice and Fire games, and give me 1 second, the Stalker RPG. I do have that, so we may be doing a Curious Case of franchise games. I don't know yet. I need to find the Tingleverse games. I don't want to download Witch Girl Adventures because Chris Hansen will kick down my door and kill me. We don't talk about that, and Bella Maga is just going... The Final Fantasy RPG, bitch, there are like 7 of those fucking things. I am not dealing with that bullshit. Witch Girl Adventures is a very special game for a variety of reasons. And give me 1 second. Let me quickly just show you. This is Witch Girl's Adventures. Some of the choice artwork in it. The problem is, it is a noted fact that the author may or may not have an transformation fetish. And there are parts in this game which are very suspect and very odd. And people are like, I don't know. And I don't want to go to the sadness place. Like there are a few games in that it's very much of like, ooh, oh no, oh no. So I know how to get a hold of them. Bellamaga, I believe I can get a hold of it. Bellamaga's fucking weird though. Like that game is just hard to read. I did find. Wait a second. Oh, go away. Oh no. Oh no. You see nothing. Dime Adventures was a very odd game I actually found by complete accident when I was looking for games. It was very odd because but I was also immediately sold by it based off of this image right here. Yes, that is a shako-wearing Napoleonic soldier riding a goddamn velociraptor. And I'm like, I'm in. And here's a jetpack samurai fighting a yeti. I have no idea what this game is about, but I kind of need to. I don't know where to put it, but I need to look at it. And I need to like just show people this game because I love weird shit, and weird shit this very much is. Kickstarter game, of course, because all these are always fucking Kickstarter games. But that was kind of the unsorted ones. A couple of these other ones are just kind of odd to find. And as I always tell everybody, if you ever have a suggestion for like a game, I'm curious, like a game you'd like to see or a series you'd like me to like look at, shoot me a message. I'll look at it. If you're in my Discord, shoot me a message on the Discord. You can actually, if you find anything like relevant, put it in submissions and like just send it over to me and I'll look at it. I don't think I won't. Like I try to look at everything that is sent to me, and there are some which are like, oh no, please, please, not again. I'm not going back. But as for the updates on the Notepad experience, we will officially be starting Okusan on Monday. We'll be doing the early look at it. Once we hit the early look at it, then we'll be formally starting on Wednesday. It'll probably be 4 to 5 episodes, depending on how things go. But thank you all for watching. I know this one was kind of long. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. Probably this game I will be breaking down most likely only a handful of them in like little opinions. Most likely the ones that'll get little opinion will be probably Joints and Jivers, and like Wetsuit will probably be under its own thing of just like viral games. Look at this guy's stuff. It's very cool. Do not call me dear. There's one guy in the fucking monthly homebrew threads who always says, "Oh my dear Notepad," and I cringe fucking physically every single goddamn time he does. Every single time he does that, I die internally. But yeah, probably it'll be on Joints and Jivers and Wetsuit. It's kind of like look at these guys' games. He's very cool, but unfortunately he's dead. Or I might hold off on that until Engine Heart. Alternatively, we may do the STALKAN RPG, just to kind of give an idea and be like, if you Google it, No, God, no, I'm not. But here, God damn it. Call, like, officially call me. Uh, I prefer text, but like, yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to shoot a call or something, I can hop into autism and assholes if need be. But I will depart as happens. Sayonara. Godspeed. Good luck. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I may stream late tonight. Uh, very late tonight if I am feeling up to it. But sure, if you